Exciting news, I tell you. A new segment. We're calling it Chrisanity. Might change it next week, I don't know. Where the great, brilliant and beautiful Chris Sims joins us from Ottawa every Monday to discuss the issues that broke over the weekend or something like that. How are you, my dear?
You are far too kind. I'm very well, Michael.
Good, good. Now, I have to be quite honest with you here. I don't usually watch things like the NDP convention. I'm too busy washing my hair or something. But I came back from giving a speech, and my wife had driven our youngest son to Kingston to play soccer. So I'm switching around TV, and I saw what I thought was a freak show, but it wasn't. It was the NDP convention, and it was all pretty boring until the voting system broke down. I don't know if you saw this, but it was such fun watching them lying through their teeth. And then we heard they'd outsourced the whole thing to a non-unionized Spanish company. What do you think about that, Conrad?
Can you just imagine? I mean, a lot of their own workers, their own Hill workers, are even unionized, which is pretty much unheard of on Parliament Hill. So for that to happen,
yeah.
I was actually quite surprised that they would do something like that. They're usually much more grassrootsy and granola than that.
They are, and Spain, where, of course, the great General Franco ruled for so long, so they're vicariously linking to a sort of authoritarian, semi-fascist dictator. It gets worse and worse.
I'm sure they just saw the neat language and went with it. They probably didn't think of Franco going all the way. I actually was suspicious, thinking that they were delaying it, ragging the puck until 6, because other parties have done that before, where they say, "Oh, so sorry, we can't figure it out," and then they hit it at 6 o'clock so that they dominate the top of the supper hour news. But it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, and they're not that clever either. And they had all these MPs coming forward and saying, "Oh, we had no idea about this. Was it really a Spanish company?" They must have known, surely.
I don't know about the MPs, to be honest. I mean, there's lots of people who work behind the scenes with these things, and frankly, a lot of them are turning over right now because of the new leadership that's being put into place. But yeah, to be perfectly fair to the MPs, you know, they don't really know a lot of that stuff on who's being hired for running the computer wizardry, that sort of thing. It's really beyond them a lot of time, especially the ones who are running. I mean, they probably forgot their own names by now, the amount of traveling and stumping they've been doing. So I will give the MPs a pass on that. But of course, somebody hired them, and it went that way.
Yeah. The MPs, you know, there are some impressive NDP MPs. I mean, not the majority. Some of them are very new from Quebec, and some are completely insane. But there's some very impressive people, Joe Martin and others. I mean, Peggy Nash. These are pretty solid. But I did notice how Dave Christopherson, who I think has now gone completely bonkers, he was really kept in the background. And then, but this amazed me. The great Libby Davies. She's been made deputy leader, is that true? Yes, she's going to remain on as deputy leader.
Thank
goodness!
She was so for quite a while, and really, a lot of people within the NDP see Mulcair as a centrist. They see him, because he used to be a Liberal while he was in Quebec.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them see him as a centrist. So really, keeping Libby Davies on, apart from whatever personal relationship they might have, I mean, they might be friends, I'm not sure, is really throwing a bone to the radical left of the party.
Yeah.
You know, Davies has said all sorts of things that have been controversial about Israel and Palestine, and she at one point even read out a petition from truthers once in the House of Commons. I think it was a couple of years back. So, and she also actually said that this recent overturning of the prostitution laws didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
So she just said that now. So she definitely represents a very left-wing part of a left-wing party.
Yeah.
And so for him to keep her there is probably politically smart, because he doesn't want to be seen as, you know, completely losing some of the more left-wing base.
Yeah, but I've heard some MPs are complaining because now at caucus meetings they won't be able to get any of the sandwiches, which is, you know, I understand.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. Can we please let's move on from that? And it's going to be very interesting because, I mean, you're quite. Mulcair apparently even met with conservatives at one point, so politically he's very much a centrist. And you mentioned the Israel issue. You know, he represents a riding with a large Jewish community, married to a Turkish Jewish woman. Many people think of him as being way too pro-Israel for a so-called Social Democratic Party. And I wonder if some of those people who worked so hard in the past, whether they be Muslim or young, very left-wing, will actually work hard for someone like Mulcair.
This is going to be a big change, Michael, like a big, big change for the NDP. He is a fierce competitor. He's highly intelligent. He's always very well briefed. He's going to be quite the arguer in the House of Commons. And also, he's going to be having to tap dance along some of these lines, like you point out with Israel, but also our own Christy Kirkup found something too. In one side of his mouth, he'll say in policy options that the tar sands are a bad thing and that we need to work at them. And then the next time he'll turn around and say, you'll never hear me bashing the oil sands. And so he calls it two different names, but really he's in tight because he's got a lot of Labour NDP votes out west who were pro-pipeline. So he's got to really balance things here. It'll be fascinating to see what happens, especially in the fall. Yeah, and I mean, and as you mentioned, those very words, tar sand is pejorative, oil sand is more descriptive, and so yeah, that'll be fascinating to see. More fascinating, though, on, was it March 31st, the big fight. Now, we should tell people that we're going to have, although it's a weekend, we're going to have live programming. The arena will not be a repeat. We run repeats, the primetime shows on the weekend. This will be, and it's an all-star show. We've got major players we'll have on that live show on the 31st, because we're also covering Human Achievement Hour. Human Achievement Hour! Imagine. I know, who knows what that is. But we're going to be having some fun with that sort of Earth Hour. And also the big fight where, God willing, Justin Trudeau will be punched in the nose repeatedly. Tell us a bit more about that, please, Chris. Women from across Canada have been writing us saying, please don't let his nose be broken, including my aunt, saying, don't let his cheekbones get damaged. Oh. But really, I must say, it's this Saturday, and it is for a good cause. They're both being great sports. It's Justin Trudeau, of course, versus the Conservative Senator Patrick Brazeau. It's to raise money to fight cancer, so really it is for an excellent cause. The pregame show starts at 5 o'clock, and then primetime fight starts at 9, and I must say we're going all out. Like, everybody's dressing up in tuxes and gowns, and we're going to be having our satellite truck, like full live coverage. Yeah. It's going to be fascinating. I can't remember anything so populist and interesting, frankly, happening within politics in Ottawa in a long time. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, well, we have exclusive coverage, and lots of people will be wearing a gown, including Ezra Levant, I've been told. Oh, no. Did you know, we're going to have some photos, but my dad, God rest his soul, was welterweight champion of the RAF, and he was a Golden Gloves champion in England. Wow! Yeah. So are you going to be tapped in then? Are you going to help back up Brazeau? Did you learn a thing or two? That was my dad. I'm a powder puff. I mean, that was my dad. He grew up in Tottenham. He was, you know, dog rough. I prefer to eat rather than fight. But yeah, it should be great fun, and we'll have all the coverage. I fear, though, it won't last very long. I'm not sure if Trudeau's used to taking but his cheekbones should be protected. But I don't think the nose will be, so that could go. I don't know. People keep writing off Justin Trudeau, calling him shiny pony and whatnot, but he has been boxing since he was a child, and boxing is a technical sport. I mean, Brazeau, even though he's much bigger, he can't tackle him. This isn't mixed martial arts. No. And a lot of these things are based on points. So if Trudeau's getting, you know, that long reach in there and scoring some points, technically, I don't think this is a slam dunk. Yeah, boxing little girls is different, though, from the real thing, Chris. Yes. That was a great debut. Thank you so much. And, well, if not before, we'll see you next Monday. Thank you very much.